Well, hello everybody, and welcome to your final project for the Great Depression. Today we're going to be going over option 1, which is to create a slideshow about a famous person during the Great Depression. So this is the page that you're going to be looking at to access your project options. So like I said, we're going to be doing option 1, which is our slideshow. To access the directions, we are going to go to the Google Slideshow link, which is below it. And here we go. So here are your directions for this slideshow. We're going to briefly go over them, and then we're going to go over just a quick tutorial. A lot of you already know how to use Google Slides, but this is just a little quick tutorial in case you forgot what to do. Maybe you want to look at other things to use in your slideshow, or you really weren't quite sure how to add a picture, so that's what I'm going to be going over today. So step 1 would be to watch the tutorial, which you obviously are right now, for any tips or tricks on how to complete your slideshow. Step 2 is to choose a partner. That is optional, but this is a cool thing because this is the only project that you have the option of using another person to help you out with it, and you're going to do it as a group. So it's only 2 people, though. You can't do 3, you can't do 4. It's only 2 people. So if you want to choose a partner, choose it at the beginning at step 2 to complete your project, and please email me or post to Google Classroom to let me know who you're going to be working with. Step 3 would be to choose the person you want to focus on. So you have a different options. You have Herbert Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt, John Maynard Keynes, Eleanor Roosevelt, John Steinbeck, Babe Ruth, and Audrey Hepburn. Those are all important, famous people that were living during the Great Depression. So you can do a project on one of those. All right, you can also use this website I have posted here. It's a website that'll take you to all of these people and a little background info about them. A lot of them also have another link to more information about them as well. So that way you can actually see and get more information. Maybe use that as one of your sources of research for this project. All right, so step 4 is to log into your Google account and open a new Google Slideshow. Only one person, if you're doing it as a group, has to do this because they will end up sharing it with the other person. That way both of you can access the Google Slideshow. If you don't know how to do that, then please let me know. And then you're going to title it with your initials and final project. So you're going to see in a minute that that's what I did for mine. All right, step 5. Create the following pages on your slideshow. So these are going to have a total of 7 slides on your slideshow. The first one is obviously going to be your title page, which is going to have the name of the person you're doing. Maybe you want to put a picture as well, and your name and date. The next one is going to be about their early years, so maybe their birthday, place of birth, their parents, their siblings, etc., etc. So their early years when they were a child. The next one would be personal life, relationships or marriages, children, place they lived in as an adult, anything like that that's related to their personal life. The next would be profession or career, jobs they had, colleges they attended, if any, or at all, doesn't matter. Maybe schools that they attended when they got older, maybe high school, whatever. The next one would be contribution to the Great Depression. This is one that's very important that you need to have. So how did they contribute to the Great Depression? What did they do during the Great Depression? How did they help people? How did they help the government or the community or society or a group of people? One of these people actually helped inspire women during the Great Depression. So maybe you need to focus on at least maybe have a paragraph about how they contributed to the Great Depression. What did they do during that time period? And then a conclusion, which would be, what did you learn from this project? And you have to write it as a paragraph reflecting on your project. So how you did, what you learned, what you can take away from this project as you did it. And then the last slide you're going to have is a works cited page. That's going to be all your sources and websites that you use. So you're going to put all of those websites. So I'm going to show you that as well, how to do that. I think we've worked on works cited pages before, but just to give you a brief overview, we're going to do that in the slideshow that I've already created a template for. All right, step 6, you're going to research the person. Make sure to create a list of the websites you use so you can add them to the works cited slides later. So you're going to research them. You can do it on a Google Doc if you want. You can, put it automatically in the slideshow. But again, with this one, add all your info, add your pictures onto your slides, but do not copy and paste directly from the websites because this is considered plagiarism. This is very big. A lot of you sometimes will put in just copy and paste directly from the website. That is plagiarism. That's illegal. So I would have to have a parent meeting, and that would be for both of you if you're doing it as a group. And then I would also end up giving you a 0 for the project. So please, 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 no plagiarism. Step 8, edit your work and go through all the slides, make sure the spelling is correct, grammar is correct, punctuation is correct. If you want somebody to take a look at it, like myself or maybe a peer, or if you're working in a group, the two of you can look at it together to make sure everything is correct, proper punctuation, make sure you have capital letters, things like that. Look at the rubric as well, because you're going to have to see. I have the rubric posted on the other page for the whole project. Make sure you look at that to make sure you have all the elements that you need for your project in order to get a good grade on it. And then lastly, step 10 is when you're confident you are done, post your final project to the final project assignment in Google Classroom. So you're going to attach it and put it in Google Classroom, and then you are all set. So let's look at my template that I created for a potential slideshow for me for the final project. So here it is here. So look at, I have my Franklin D. Roosevelt. That's who I decided I was going to do. He was one of our presidents during that time. I have Miss Mars, and then, oops, I forgot to put the date. So I'll just put today's date as, I don't know, we'll just make up a date for 2020. Okay. So then there's that. So you have all the elements listed on there. I can put a picture in here if I want to. That's up to you. You can always go up to insert and insert image. You can upload from the computer if you want, or you can search the web. Maybe you have one you have in your Google Drive, anything like that you want to use. So I would search for web. That's probably a little bit easier. You can just do that real quick. It'll come up on the right-hand side. I would just put in Franklin D. Roosevelt and click search, and it should come up, and then here's a picture of him. Click insert at the bottom, and it's going to come up with this picture. You can obviously make it smaller because that's too big for me. We're going to make it smaller, so he goes up here or down here, whichever. Maybe I want to move this up, move my all my font up. I'll move this down to maybe here, and then maybe I'll add him in the middle here. I'll make him a little bit smaller. This will be a little bit smaller as well. I'll scroll up, and then there you go. Okay, you can do any type of template you want. That's fine. I just chose this one just as a basic one to use, and then I would add in everything once you're done. I would put all your information on it because that's the most important part, is all of your info, all your research that you have done. And then go back and edit if you want to fix your font. Remember how to do font. You can just highlight the font and then go up here to the different fonts. You can do the sizes. You can do bold, italic, underlined. You can do the text color. You can highlight. You can also change the background color if you want. That's here. Change the background color. Right now it's blue, but you can always change it. The layout, there's different types of slide layouts. I usually like to stick with one or two, and then that's it, because then once it gets too many different layouts, it gets too crazy. So I would only maybe suggest doing a couple of those. And obviously theme is here if you want to change your themes. Over here, these are all the different themes you can choose from. I also can import ones if you find some online you want to do and you know how to do that. Find one online, but I don't want to make you go too crazy. You can do transitions, but like I said, I want you to stick to the basics right now for now. Get all your info on it first, and then add all the fun stuff afterwards. You can also add text boxes if there isn't one. That would be here with the T. You can also, this is also insert image if you don't want to go to insert directly. You can add a shape. You can add lines and things like that. Obviously, if you make a mistake, you can always hit the undo button, and that'll take you back to the previous thing. Or if you want to go back again and redo it, you click the other arrow back. All right. And then obviously this is for zooming. I think I went over that in another video. You can zoom if you want to make it bigger. So you just click on the little magnifying glass and make it bigger so you can see it. Then you just click off of it. I want to make it back to the way it was, which I think was 50 or I think 68, which is fit. So then there you go. All right. So the next page you're going to do is your early years. This is going to be about his childhood. So I want you to have his date of birth, where they lived at the time, where he was born, any family members, things like that go on this page. Now, again, you can add a picture. So I actually already went to Google Images, and I found a picture of him as a child. And what I did is I clicked on it. If you click on the picture, you go to here, and I usually click, especially if you're using a Chromebook, I could click Control Alt and then the mouse pad, and it comes up with this box right here. You're going to press Save Link As, not Save Link As, sorry, apologize. Save Image As. So remember, Save Image As, not Save Link As. Save Image As, and you're going to click on that. It's going to take you to this box, and you're going to label it, and I'm just going to put like Roosevelt Child, or Child 1, because actually I already have one already made for him already. So you're just going to have that, and then you're going to click Save, and it's going to automatically save, and you can insert it onto your Google Slides. So we're going to do that now. So here's your early years. We're going to click Insert. We're going to click Image. Image is going to take you, want to upload it from your computer because that's you just downloaded it. And we're going to find it here. So I have two here I can pick from because I found a few. I'm going to click this one, click Open, and it's going to come up with this picture here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So I usually always use these. Don't use the sides or the up and down because it distorts the picture. I use the corners instead to make it proportionate and not get too, it's a little funky looking when you do it that way. So just use the corners, not the sides or the other side. So then here's your early years. Next slide is going to be the profession or the careers that the person had when they were alive. So what were their jobs? List their jobs. You can do this as a bullet list if you want. I like to just put, for a bullet list, I like to put Shift and then the star key, which is number 8. Put that and then click a space, and it's going to make bullets for you. You can also go up here and click a numbered list if you want. These are all the numbered lists, or you can click on a bulleted list here, and there's all different options you can choose from. Instead of bullets, you can have a star, you can have an arrow, boxes, etc., etc. So you can also add that as well. All right, next slide, the 4th slide is going to be about his personal life. So who were they married to? If they were married a few times, list the different marriages, maybe the dates that they were married, and then list any of their children when they were born. Maybe you want to put pictures of their children, pictures of their wife on here. That's perfectly fine. If you find their wedding picture, that's even wow bonus for you. Slide 5 is going to be on the contribution to the Great Depression. So this is the big one. This is the important one. How did they contribute to the Great Depression? What did they do? What were they famous for doing during that time that maybe helped the economy, helped people and their lives, or helped unemployment rates during the Great Depression? This is our president at the time. We had 2 presidents during this time period. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the one that did a lot for our country at this time period. It is labeled one of our best presidents of the United States, one of the top 3. So there's going to be a lot here. How did they contribute? You're going to maybe, if you want to do it as a bulleted list, that's fine. If you want to do it as a paragraph and just write about them, that's also perfectly fine too. So you have options as to how you want to do this. But this is going to be what you're mostly going to be graded on, is how did they contribute to this? Because this is the whole point of doing this project. And then a couple of other ones. Number 6, slide 6 is going to be your conclusion. What did you learn? What did you learn about this person? What did you learn about the time period by doing this research? Anything like that? Because we already went through and did all of our lessons. We did 4 lessons on the Great Depression. So now we have everything we need to know, and we're doing research a little bit and going a little bit further. So how did you learn more? What did you learn about? How did this overall make you understand more about the Great Depression? That's going to be here. It's like a reflection. And then the last would obviously be your Works Cited page. So for me, I went onto Britannica.com, which is an online encyclopedia, and I found him, and I put the website here. I'm not making you do where you put the author, the title, when it was published, anything like that. I would do that mostly if we were going to do an English project, but this is for, social studies, so I'm just going to have you guys list them. So this is like Britannica. This is actually a good one for you guys to use if you want to use Britannica. I don't mind. It has all the facts about him. It has his biography. It has his presidency, what he did. This could be a great one to use. I suggest probably looking at least 3 different websites to use for this. Don't just stick to one, because you're going to find different facts on different websites. I would have at least 3 different Works Cited pages. And I think that's it. If you have any questions, you can ask me on Google Classroom underneath the assignment. You can ask me on the Remind app, shoot me a message. You can email me. If you want to watch other videos on how to work the Google Slideshow, that's fine by me. You can do that. But a lot of you are already very familiar with how to use Google Slides. So I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be one that a lot of you are going to be doing. So I don't really need to go into too much detail, but if you also want me to send you this Google Slideshow as a model for you or as a template to use, and then you can just go around and change it, that's fine. I can also post that for you as well. But other than that, I think you guys will do great. And if you, like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know and have fun doing your project. I'll talk to you soon.